This is Leafs Late Night, your night of post-game podcast with Roscoe, the Fanalist, and Southey.
Oh, still getting used to that intro. Love it. Yeah, shout out to Fiverr for hooking me up with somebody to do that. It's I think it's just at Male Voice Talent who has our new intro and outro. So thanks, man, for doing that. Unfortunately, Southey could not join us today. He's feeling under the weather, but to replace him, we got a big reveal here. DartyBrodeur, welcome.
Thank you for the invite. You know, wasn't sure if my memes were going to be too controversial this week. That maybe, like, oh crap, we can't invite this guy on anymore.
You know, I think it's welcomed in this current culture of the NHL. We're happy to have you.
I think
it's been fun.
Now, I was gonna say, I think some of the things that I said recently have still been tame in comparison just to whatever the NHL has put out. Anything that's been revealed in the past couple of weeks.
Oh, exactly. I mean, we need a laugh. It's one thing to see a sign of what was it, Jamie? Can I bend you over? I saw that. It's great.
Keeps me entertained on Instagram, so thank you.
Hey. So for all your hockey memes, DartyBrodeur's your guy. So I should say Southey and I, we missed a couple games. We work in film and have extremely long hours, but I caught up on some of them. But we've got Steph and Darty here to help me with the recap. So we're going to go over both the Calgary and the Buffalo wins. Very different looking wins, but 4 points nonetheless. So we'll start off with the Calgary one, a 2-1 win in overtime with a Matthews goal. So Steph, you want to start us off there?
Yeah, Calgary coming in hot, because they had a previous loss to the Montreal Canadiens 4-2 that night. It was their second of the seventh on the road. So a little bit of a mix in the lineups too, because JT was back after injury and Dermott sat, Hall was in, and TJ Brodie facing his old team. So that's always fun stuff too. But I gotta say, Toronto started off a little slow again, wasn't happy with their play in the beginning, but they finally picked up the pace, and it was kind of like a playoff-esque type of game. I don't know. What do you think about that, Darty?
You know what? I personally thought that Toronto's looked slower this entire start to the season, and I'm not sure what that is. Maybe the guys are just tired, or maybe there's we're coming off a lot of injuries. But a win's a win. At this point, even though it wasn't a dominant performance per se, I would say it's one. Isn't this? It's nice to see guys. Is it pronounced Kasha? He got a goal.
Kasha?
Kasha there. Yeah, he got a goal this game.
Yeah, he's got three goals.
Yeah, and then he got a goal in the Buffalo game too. So what's going on here? That's nice to see.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, especially because it was a slow start for the Stars, and we weren't really sure what we were going to get out of guys like Kampf and Bunting and Kasha and all these new guys. So and Richie. So it's nice to see maybe on the nights that the top guys are slower, we can expect something out of Kasha and Kampf and Bunting now after these two games.
Yeah, and it was actually a little bit different of game because we didn't see Markstrom in net either. And, he's a huge frame, 6'6". We saw Dan Vladar in net, who's also 6'5", and Markstrom was a little scary because, when Calgary was on their 10-game point streak, he had 4 shutouts. So we didn't know what to expect. But Vladar held his own. I got to say, he was pretty much a brick wall. And I can see why Calgary took him for league minimum with 2 years remaining on that contract. And they only traded a third-round 2022 pick for the guy. So, hey, why not fill the hole?
So one thing I want to mention, the Leafs went down 1-0, and it was off of something that they keep doing, which is this pulling one of their 2 defensemen into the offensive zone for a push, and it's caused a turnover and a 2-on-1 the other way. Is this working more than it's not working? Because this has been, it almost stands out more when it fails, because a 2-on-1 is obviously more obvious than some contained pressure, whether they score or not. But
one second,
does this play work
here?
No, go for it.
No, we're good. Grandmothers, they get you.
Gotta love them.
No worries. But Darty, what do you think about this? Having Riley or Sandine or Lily, whoever it is, somebody pushing into the offensive zone, but it's caused a couple.
I was
turnovers.
watching this goal, so I've spent a lot more time on the Buffalo game, so I apologize. I didn't spend too much time in Calgary.
Oh, no worries.
I was watching that goal that kind of slipped in, the really greasy one by is it Camp? And and right beside Camp was, I believe it was Morgan Riley, and I'm like, what's he doing down there? Like I feel like that. Hey, a goal is a goal. But at the same time, it's like I feel like our defense are getting a little too hot and heavy. Like they want to just play, be forwards here. And it's like, you know what? It's good. It's nice to see guys like, want to participate and want to to fight for it a little bit. But when it causes situations where, here, where's our defense? Now we're just going to have, everybody rush whoever's in net on any given night. Like that's not a good look either. Right. So.
Like, I grew up watching Caberlet and McCabe, so that's as soon as I see the defense too far in, I'm like, guys, unless you're going to score 25 goals, get the hell back in your end, please.
Yeah, and the Calgary game was one of those situations where any little screw up, that's going to be the game decider, kind of like Shillington. He was all over the ice. I saw him cartwheel once in front of his own net because he bumped into Richie's ass or something, and it was just funny. But the next goal against Calgary, he gave up. It was a huge turnover in the defensive zone, which made it 1-1. So it was really tight, I gotta say. Lots of blocks, lots of just everything. I gotta give credit to the defensemen on our team because they were just throwing their bod all over.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it takes a lot to shut down. I mean, the top line was on a heater for 2 weeks straight, it seemed. So to come into Calgary, which not a crazy defensive team, to come out with a 2-1 win is it's a pretty good feat on Calgary's part. So Nylander is now second behind Ovi in shots on goal. What the hell is going on with Willie? Is he trying to outlive his contract? Like, what's going on, man?
I was gonna say, like there was a time where everybody just wanted to get rid of this guy. Everybody said, ship him out of town. And then, now he went from being, and again, we have to blame kind of Mitch Marner for this, but he went from being one of the most hated Leafs on his team to being one of the most beloved. And one thing I wrote down here is that, I've been listening to this podcast. I've been listening to a lot of takes on the Leafs. And the one thing I know is that from every given night, every given game, you'll hear Willie's on a heater, he's doing great, and then you'll hear, he's kind of slowing down a little bit. But these past two games, he didn't score in the Calgary game, but he got 2 assists. Can we not be happy with that?
Yeah, and it looked like he did score, right? Because he made that huge shot, and then everyone's like, "Where did my points go for my Tim's pick?" But someone else tipped it in net, or I don't know what happened there. But, this year, Willie is averaging the most shots he's ever had in his NHL career. And that night against the Calgary Flames, he had multiple breakaways to the point where in the second intermission, he was asked, what happened on that one play? And he's like, I don't know which one you guys are talking about. Yeah. So it's always a good sign.
Now, with his contract being so nice at 7.5 or 7.9, with him playing this well, I hate to say it, just for the point of discussion, but does this make him the biggest trade chip on the Leafs, or does this make him absolutely untradeable? Steph, you want to start us?
If you would have asked me last year, my answer would have been different. But this year, it's kind of like Willie just woke up, took on a leadership role on the team, and finally is playing his worth. And maybe he read what's going on social media. I don't know what happened during the summer, but to me, this is the point where we keep Willie in his prime. We need him on that first or second line just to get the game going. He's fast. He has an excellent shot. So I would keep him, especially at that price. And we're seeing defensemen going for almost $10 million nowadays. So why not keep him at the 7-point-however million he signed for?
It's one of those things where it's
think?
I was thinking about that too. And it's like, I've been thinking about this for a while now. Is what could we possibly get for Willie that's gonna make a huge difference on this team? Is there a really hot goaltender for the right price. Maybe, you know, like who's gonna? It's like William Nylander. He's when you see that he's getting 2 assists and he's like picking up goals and he's just out there hustling. Like I remember in the playoffs, like he was one of the most dominant players. Like you don't want to lose a guy like that. Like obviously we got Tavares, we got Matthews, we got Marner, you know, and they've got a lot on their minds. So, you know, if no one's picking on Willie, it's good that he's performing, right? Because there's a lot of guys on this, you know, the top 4, right? They got a lot to deal with mentally, right? So if one of them has an off night, you know, we're gonna to get rid of Willie or to say get rid of Marner, then you're putting the pressure on those other 2, and then is it really worth getting rid of any of them? Like I know we have no cap space, and we, you know, maybe it'd be nice to have another good defensive player or have a good another good tendy, but like, is it really worth it? Is it really worth it to get rid of William Nylander?
Yeah.
No, the mental strain is actually a really good point, because if they were to trade one of these guys, they're going to get multiple pieces. Like it wouldn't be a 1-for-1 kind of like Line for Dubois deal, you would assume. So you're spreading out more guys in the depth, and then that top end is still just taking more pressure on because you're just spreading it out. So yeah, that's a good point. I don't think it would really bolster anything, because the only thing that's missing for them right now is a left winger, and I don't think getting rid of a right winger is going to find you a better left winger.
Yeah, and you know, Leafs Nation, we break down every little aspect that ever goes on in these guys' lives, and I don't know, I feel just personally we're at that right spot with William Nylander, and we've had those times within the last 4 or 5 years where the Leafs are kind of just sick of losing, and we have everything that we need to do to go far in a playoff run. So I say keep him. I don't know. There's other fixtures on the team that I would trade, but William Nylander, I think, is a keep for me.
Yeah, I think at this point we've, as a whole, as Leafs Nation, I hope we have moved past the trade Nylander.
Unless he's just an absolute beauty. Like if you see, there's every time, like he gets like those, like, you know, a really nice goal or a really nice assist, or he's just out there, you know, with the boys, and they kind of close up on him. It's like that blonde hair. It's magnificent. It's
that mop.
The Swedes.
Exactly.
But
we got a question from Luke Man on Twitter. Do you think Vladar was the reason the game was so tight? We seem to be in control defensively, except to 1 turnover.
You know, it's a tough question, because when you look at the team's defensive stats since Daryl Sutter came to coach the team, they've been top 5 in every single category. So Calgary, they've tightened up a lot, and that has helped Vladar in front. And it's hard to judge his play alone, because the guy after that game only has 7 NHL career starts. So we don't have much to work with or analyze. But like I said earlier, I think it was a great pickup, and the team just helped out the backup tendy. Like they did their job, you know?
Fair enough. Should we move on to the Buffalo game? Because it's a little more exciting than the Calgary game was.
Before we move on, I want to bring up one thing, though, guys. Sorry. I need to bring this up. Did anyone see on social media, like, I know we're only 1 month into the season, but a fan has already gone out of their way to get a tattoo of the Calgary Flames logo saying 2022 Stanley Cup champions on the back of their shin or whatever that was?
I did see that. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Yeah, anyways, I just wanted to bring that out.
Commitment.
I don't know. I feel like they're going to be on tattoo redo like in 6 months or whatever. So
I think it's important to note that the actual script was, I believe it was like Comic Sans. So that in itself is like, you know, it's almost like they're joking about it. Like you have to ask your like tattoo artist to like say like, I want that specific script. You know, I want.
Did he go to a flea market?
That's true. It is
like they could have went to like you know, I'm sure like most people use like something, a derivative of like Times New Roman or something that's like nice to look, you know, like, you know, something that's very like, you know, official looking, but they use that silly script, right? So it's like, you know, like maybe they're hoping to, you know, write over it or put, you know, something else, put another image over top of that. They know.
Or really, you zoom out and they've got a giant Edmonton Oilers back tattoo though. It's just all
they should just put, you know, a little
yeah, I know, flea market-esque.
But I think last year
All right,
there was
so-
a tattoo very similar. I'm not sure if it was NHL because I follow a lot of memes obviously because I got to find search through content and see what gets the likes. I just remember seeing one where it was already crossed out, so someone had done a tattoo like that and they crossed out the year and they put another year.
Oh god, you might as well just even just do 20 and then blank and leave it open for whenever you think your team's gonna do well. Then fill it in.
Sharpie it in.
I think for the
Keep
Leafs we're going to
erasing.
start with a 30.
Oh God.
20, at least 21.
Yeah.
Okay, so Buffalo game opened with the silliest goal I've seen the Leafs score all season. I was watching a recap of the game. I didn't think when the clip started that was going to be a goal, but Comp squeaks one in under Hag, I think.
Yeah.
The hell happened there?
This was
Yeah, I wrote that
literally
down. Like, what? I wrote WTF.
Yeah, I wrote, how the fuck did that go in? So,
Yeah.
because I think it stood out because the Leafs don't get these kind of goals. And this is something that we make a note of, is we don't get dirty goals. We don't get these cheap ones in front of the net, things that are reviewable. I mean, well, besides Nylander's kick the other night. But really, it's they get a good shot or it doesn't go in. So, I mean, in a way, it's nice to see. What do you guys think?
Yeah, the Leafs are never gifted anything, right? We have to do everything the hard way. So I was so happy to see that go in. That was just the cherry on top. And that kind of gives Joseph Wall a little bit of confidence, right? First NHL career
Fair.
game, starting in the same building that he happened to be drafted in. And I got to give props to Keefe too, because he did give Wall's family a notice, a heads up. Oh, you're going to be playing your first time in 5 years. So he had his family down in the stadium. Loved it. Pat him on the back for that. But yeah, it started off great. I thought things were going to be just going uphill for the Leafs, especially, what did we just watch there? But oh my God, it was so back and forth.
Yeah, right away, Wall kind of showed his age and experience on a really wild rebound around the back of the net. And Party in the USA, Jeff Skinner put it in.
Oh,
What is with that goal song?
Okay, so I looked it up because when I was watching the replay, my girlfriend's like, "Is the Buffalo Sabres goal song "Party in the USA"?" I'm like, "It can't be. There's no way." So I looked up on their Twitter. Apparently, they all picked their own individual songs this year. So there's a playlist on Spotify you can follow with all of them, and they have them all matched to players. So Jeff Skinner picked Miley Cyrus's "Party in the USA" as his goal song this year.
Nice. Well, he needed
You know
that
what?
because he
the
hasn't been
all
partying
the
in
power
the
to the
USA
players.
very much. Yeah,
He's not been partying, that's for sure.
exactly. Especially after that huge contract he signed, coming off a 40-goal season, and then he just absolutely collapsed the next year. So, yeah, he needs to hear that song a lot more this year to get someone to like him.
Yeah, Darty, what do you got here for
you know what? I used to
a couple...
go to work, and there was this guy who was always crusty. And if you asked him how he was doing, he'd say, "You know what? It's a party." And that's how I feel about things in Buffalo right now. It's a frickin' party. All right, it's so much greasy stuff has been going on that you know what? They need something to look forward to. That goal particularly, that's the kind of goal I really want Toronto to have all the time. Those are the kind of goals that Buffalo, not Buffalo, another big B team, Boston, always scores on us. Just that right, but hits the boards, rebound. What the hell happened? Now they're up by one, and I would love for Toronto to have more of those goals. Also, that first goal, that's a goal that's always scored on us. So it's really nice to see that we finally get one of those, like how in the heck did that happen? As I said, I mentioned it earlier in the pod that it was a camp, and I saw Engvall up there and Riley as well. But hey, a goal's a goal, right? This is sloppy, but we're gonna if we didn't get that goal, that's a 4-4 game, right? And to lose to Buffalo, considering how awful things have been for them. They've been doing well this year, but still, just in the news, just things, nobody wants to lose to Buffalo. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one ever wants to. And I mean, as well as they started, they've kind of come back to reality a bit. I mean, I didn't get to watch the full game, so how were Krebs and the other
Tuck?
one who came in? Tuck.
Yeah.
Are they
How are they doing?
a factor at all on this team?
You should ask Owen Power because he knows a lot more Krebs lately than your boy Skinner or someone on the team. You know, Owen Power
Oh
and
no, is he?
Krebs have been playing on, I believe, the Rochester AHL franchise, and they've been killing it. So Buffalo, I think they have a lot of good to come to the organization after, you know, whatever happened, as you said. But yeah, Tuck, he's still going to be out for a couple months, I think. So
Does he need surgery? Is that
Right, Tuck's
yeah,
injured.
he's in. Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. It was surgery for surgery, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Yep, and speaking of, Eichel successfully got his surgery on, I think it was Friday.
Yes.
So he's on the road to recovery, looking like maybe 3 to 4 months. So
And he got his
Countdown is on.
surgery. You know, he got the one that he wanted. I'm hoping.
he got his artificial disc. Yep. After all the fighting with Buffalo, Vegas let him do what he wanted. So
Yeah.
good for Jack. Then Bunting, the other side. Oh, sorry, no. Cash Money got his one first. So Andre Kasha stepping in and completely whiffs on the first shot, but it doesn't matter because the second one goes
I'm glad
in.
you said whiffs. That's exactly what I wrote down. I was like, what a whiff. Like, that is another goal. How, like, usually we just get robbed. Usually, like, if something like that happens, that's the other team ends up scoring on us. Like, that's, we fail at that kind of goal, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, damn.
Yeah, some third line guy just, and he, what? How did he? But it was our third line guy this time.
Hey, we'll call it a pump fake, just like how the Leafs social media team has been doing all day long, and just give him the credit, you know. But third one in a row for Kasha, third game in a row scoring, so nothing but up for this guy. Especially he played on the first line last night with Matthews and Nylander, so a lot of lineup changes. Everything looked pretty weird. Simmons was out, Sandin was out, so we didn't see that coming, right? And I'm glad it worked.
Yeah, I thought I saw Matthews up there with them, so that's like, you know, I was, you know, they're switching it up. It's nice to see that they're trying to see what'll work with this, you know, with the players, trying to get them to. I guess it'll motivate them, right? It's something new.
Yeah, somebody who really needed motivation and got it off his goal. Michael Bunting scores off of a rebound from Muzzin, and he just like looks up, and it was like that look of, oh, fucking finally. Like, I needed that so bad.
Yeah, and
also if he missed it, he would have been pissed because it was a wide open net. But hey, Bunting's back on the board.
yeah, Bunting moves down to the fourth line with Spezza and Seymonov, however you say his name, and it was one of those similar situations where you talked about Darty with the rebound and back in. It was on the opposite side of the net this time, which was nice. And when he was asked about it later on, he was just like, I don't care where I play, the first line, second line, fourth line, and we need those attitudes to go far in this organization. So I was so happy for him. Oh my God, just his face illustrated it all.
It's like, obviously
that comment about.
No, continue.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Darty.
No, you go. You're the man. You go.
Oh. No, I was just going to say that comment about being able to play anywhere in the lineup, low-key feels like a slight to Ilya Mikheyev, who, like, wants to get traded based on his ice time. So he's like, hey, I'm just happy to play here, guys. Like, put me wherever you want. Just, you know, when Mikheyev comes back, just remember I said that.
He needs to finish first, okay? He needs to finish a couple of times and prove himself before he makes any decisions here. I know he was good old Soup back then, but we have a new Soup in town, and he is elite. So I don't know where Mikheyev's looking at when he comes back, because I wouldn't have guessed Simmons to sit. If anything, I would have guessed maybe Spezza to give him the night off last night after a back-to-back. But hey, Keefe is not afraid to move around the lines, and it shows.
Yeah,
but that's what we were all hoping.
Sorry,
but that was what we were all hoping for when they got rid of Babs, was that they actually would have a little bit of creativity with the lines, because obviously the way that our team is constructed, we've got the rich barons at the top and then the lowly serfs at the bottom. Yeah. So when you hear guys like Kasha and Bunting and they're all fighting to just want to play. They want that time, because there's no way you do the tough love thing with the top four anymore and like take away time from them as a consequence. It's just, I didn't fully watch the what is it, All or Nothing, or All for Nothing, as I want to call it. But
All for nothing.
But you don't want to. We're talking about the mental game, right? You don't want to start playing, crazy. Make a list of who sucks the most on this team, and then we don't want to play those kind of mind games with the top 4 guys anymore, because they know that they're They know that I want to use some choice words here. I know this is a polite podcast, but they know that they got the right stuff. They don't need to be fooled around with mentally anymore. So if those guys at the bottom would just they take their minutes and they really just work hard, then who's going to really complain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, they know the money they make. They're in Toronto. The media gives them enough. Like, they don't need to hear from the coach, like, hey, you guys need to score. No shit, we need to score. Like, thanks. So, it's nice that, unlike Babs, keeps willing to move people in and out of the lineup, scratch people if he has to, bump Marner down to the second line, move Spezza up, play Jason Spezza at all.
I know.
That first game with Spezza just still makes me so angry that he benched him when his whole family was there.
I was just going to say that.
Anyway.
His whole family was there. Come on. And he's making his Leafs debut.
And that's the thing. It's right. Like all the moves that keeps making are just, they seem less like manipulative and mean-spirited and more like we're just trying to win. And, it's not to hurt you. It's not to say like, oh, you're, there's a consequence for your actions. More like we're here to win. And we're going to try something different. And if it doesn't work tonight, we're going to try something different tomorrow night.
Yeah, I can respect that. So Muzzin and Hull are not good together. Can we stop putting them together to bring it back to the game here? Because, oh my God. Like, so he moves the lineups around. I like the top line moves. The bottom line moves have been okay, like the defense, but I don't know where Justin Hull fits on this defensive lineup, because it doesn't matter where we put him. I find it doesn't make his partner good, because Jake Muzzin plays well with TJ Brody. Jake Muzzin plays well with, who else we put him with? Didn't he play with Liljegren one night? But oh my God, when him and Hull are together, they're awful. Muzzin with another giveaway, costing them a goal.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that, and we're carrying it on from last season, right, where they were paired together, they had success, so much success that the Leafs protected Justin Hull in the Seattle expansion draft. I know I have to bring that up again, but
give me Jared McCann.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on this year. They looked a little flat-footed. I gotta say, during the Calgary game, I liked their body positioning. They were making a lot of blocks. They were there, but then last night the Leafs kind of let it go again and kind of sat on their heels. And I don't know, like I was getting nervous by the end of it. And we were 4-4 at one point. I'm like, come on, guys, this is Buffalo. But yeah, I don't know. I can rant forever about my rage for them.
Yeah. So Muzzin with the giveaway to Thompson, and then Dermott with the giveaway to Rasmus Asplund. While he's on the ground, he still couldn't get the puck back from him, and Asplund centers it out. And I mean, he's on my team, so I don't really care.
Are we even surprised by the giveaway by Dermott though? Like, I don't think this is not his year. This has not been his year.
No, and on the contrary, it's been Liljegren and Sandin's year, which is bad for him even more, because they're, Dermott and Hull are getting pushed out of this lineup real quick. I did not expect to see it happen this fast. Like, Sandin and Liljegren, I thought were still going to be developing and kind of in and out of the lineup, but wow. Sandin is dancing around people in the defensive zone. He's responsible. Liljegren the same. It's looking more and more like one of those two guys between Hull and Dermott's getting traded in the next couple of weeks.
I thought the news would have came out already, honestly, after the trade rumors.
Yeah, same.
I've been waiting every day, like, what is going on? And then Dermott sits for a couple, Hull is back, so I'm like, what? I don't know. I don't know what moves Dubas is looking to make, but yeah, and then I saw another rumor about Riley Smith. I don't know if that's true or not, from Vegas.
Really?
But I don't know if people are just making up things at this point in Leafs Nation, but, well, time will tell.
What did we think of Joseph Wall losing his stick and grabbing Marner's stick to try to make a save?
Poor guy.
Buddy.
Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah.
You know,
He had a rough night.
yeah, and he was scrambling. It was one of those panic situations. He just grabbed anything that was in front of him. Unfortunately, his stick was way back of the net, and yeah, he lost his focus, looked down, looked up, looked down. Oh, puck is in the back of the net. So, yeah, that was unfortunate.
Is this just the year of stick games? Like, we've seen a lot of, people grabbing each other's sticks and tossing them or handing them back. These,
I had a running total for a couple games of like Leafs versus goalies without sticks, and they're at 4-0 right now for the goalie without the stick. It's like, oh, the goalie doesn't have a stick. The Leafs are, and they lost it. It's back to the other end. He's got a stick back. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So in the dying seconds, as everybody prepares for overtime, fresh off his new contract, Morgan Riley with the Snipe Show.
Ooh. That was nice. This is exactly what I've been talking about all season long on the podcast. Leafs need that blue line presence. They need that shot from the anchor and someone to tip in front. And we saw it from the John Tavares power play goal the previous 2 games or whatever it was. And then Riley, oh my God, it's just, I know he can do it. And same with Sandin, but it was so nice. It was the perfect moment. Yeah, I know I tweeted a lot about it on Twitter.
Actually, I missed the JT goal, with JT scoring the most JT goal ever for his 100th as a Leaf, with a tip-in in front of the net. Attaboy.
Yeah.
Capitano.
Beauty. It happens.
All right, so welcome back. We're talking about the power play. The power play is finally shaping up after a really slow start for everybody all around. We're top 10, woohoo, instead of bottom 10.
It's always nice to see, not being bottom 10 in what should be the easiest goal for any team. Like, I don't know how we have such amazing players that our power play was ever in question, but
yeah, you think when you pull someone off the ice and you have $40 million on the ice that you should be able to score every time. But whenever they were getting them in the first couple of games, you see like tied for 19th in the league. You're like, what is happening?
That is the most infuriating thing to see as a Leafs fan, all right? That's from the guy on the street to, upper management to someone running a very successful Yahoo fantasy pool is, what the heck? Why aren't we getting these? These are free goals. They should be easy. They should just put the puck in the net. It's 5 of 4.
Yeah.
Come on.
I drafted Matthews with my first pick this year. And I'm still waiting for him to carry my team, because right now he's just a guy scoring a couple goals on my team.
And as another successful fantasy league owner, I purposely did not draft any Leafs in any of my 5 leagues except for Jack Campbell. So because they're so hot and cold, Leafs go on these bad streaks, and then out of the blue, it's like, okay, it's finally working. But yeah, Johnny with the first pick, Matthews. Even last year.
I had 6th pick. It's like the first 3 are kind of set, and then it's just like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I figured I'd just give the homer a shot, but...
That's okay.
Still waiting.
Yeah. Now you're actually first in our league, which is new for once, because usually you're bottom 6. Sorry, Johnny. But...
Yeah.
Something's working, right? So, that's good.
Yeah, my team's pulling through for me this year. Can't complain. But not only is my team pulling through, the Leafs did. So that kind of ends off our recap of both the Friday and Saturday games. That's Buffalo and Calgary. 4 points coming out of there. Steph, you have a note here from Maple Leafs fan.
He reached out to me on Twitter, and I totally agree with this comment. It's pretty much saying that Marner and Muzzin at the end of the game went through the trouble of getting the game puck for Wall, and we were both so happy to see this because, throughout the game we saw his mom in the stands just experiencing that Leafs anxiety that comes with, having a boy play on the team, and the huge celly after with the win, especially with 11 seconds left, 5-4, oh my god. But so happy to see the team there for him, play for him, even though some goals were but yeah, it's great. Makes them a better team, and especially when they think of others.
100%.
Is this like the battle of the most unknown goaltenders, though? When I was
all year. Every game I tune into, I'm like, I don't know who either of these goalies are.
And they always have career years or career games against the Leafs for some reason, right? Even the rookies.
Like, I don't know the last time I saw number 60 as like on the ice. Like I was like looking at I was like, good pick there. Good pick there, kid.
It's a pretty rare number.
That's the other thing. That's true. It's like I see a number and I'm like, who has that one? I'm gonna look at it. Oh, I don't know who this guy is. It's like that when we played Guess Who Arizona's Goalie Is Tonight on one of our episodes, and it's like, I don't know who that guy is.
I've just assumed it's always Antti-Ranta. Oh, I know it's not, but just in my head, I just assume, just because that name is so cool to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually,
I didn't know
on,
if
what is he, Carolina?
Phoenix,
he got
by the way. I just
down the other night by, oh no, he plays, and he plays way too far out of the net and got completely bulldozed on, there were two guys, I think, what were they playing, Florida? And, I want to say it was Lomberg.
Yes.
Was bolting down the ice for the puck, and Ranta played out past the circles to try to get it while these two guys are racing for it and just got completely demolished. And they threw the guy out of the game for hitting Ranta when he was like past the face-off circles. It's insane.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, I only caught that briefly, but it looked really brutal. And yeah, it's kind of greasy there. Just, he made a choice. He knew what he was doing.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
That was the choice.
I've done that before.
It's like
playing soccer. You run out and you're like, I might get hit doing this, but he'll get called.
Tendies get a lot of leeway, right? That look at Leonard always popping the net off. Just it wasn't me.
Yeah, like when they were playing in Vegas, he got his shoulder up in there and just, I don't like this play. Just pops it up.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys.
Did I do that?
Yeah.
Who was that? I'll never forget that clip. I think it was a world tournament or something where it was like Team Austria's goalie or something. There was a breakaway coming at him. It was a 2-on-0, and he just turned and threw the net off. He's like, I'd rather face one of you on a breakaway than two of you.
Wow.
Just quick Leafs news. The dress code was reinstated. Steph, what the hell? I missed that.
Saw this on Twitter and Instagram. I don't know if it's real, but apparently someone wore a t-shirt to a game and it wasn't as per the business casual new rule. So Dubas reversed the decision. I don't know. I don't know what the real news is because I can't find a legit article, but yeah, I don't know. Did you hear anything about this, Darty?
Your guess is as good as mine, but at the same time, I feel like it's better when these things are left to the imagination, because then we have to play the game of, so what were they wearing particularly that got them, back in elementary school when they're like, what, we're banning Yu-Gi-Oh cards or we're banning Magic the Gathering because like there's just too much, you broke the rules and that's it. You push the boundaries and it's like, did Austin Matthews just, did he come to class in those Cookie Monster pajamas? And was he wearing spaghetti straps? Like, what was it that, like, really,
Yeah.
So I have it here. Toronto reportedly reinstates dress code restrictions after boundaries pushed too far. So like you said, it's just kind of reported on Twitter, but it says... Jack Hahn, no more business casual for Toronto. Someone stepped over the line and ruined it for everyone. Back to suits. According to Hahn, it was GM Kyle Dubas who reinstated restrictions after someone showed up to the rink a little too relaxed. I found this out a few days ago and forgot because it's a stupid thing to get worked up over. Then I saw on Sportsnet intermission and remembered. Someone wore a t-shirt to the rink. GM canceled the experiment. Okay.
Wow.
So...
just had to ruin it for everybody. And they like how they say someone. So who do we think is suspect number?
Who do we think did?
Done it?
There it is. Knew where I was going. Yeah. Who do we think
Definitely
did it?
not Spezza because he still wears a suit every day to the game. So it's either Marner or Matthews. That's what the rumor is. And they say it was his Mickey Mouse t-shirt that he wore last year to the ring. But yeah. It's going to be one of those guys. I know John Cherry was saying on his podcast, Matthews looks like he's going to a friendly barbecue every time and just absolutely shitting on him. So, yeah, who knows, right? I guess that's why there's no for real article out there, but... Yeah.
So I saw this one meme. So I curate a lot of memes, right? I do make them, but also like I'm very lazy, so I'll find them from sources and I'll just repost them because I know what the people like. And I saw this one that I think I posted a while back, but you know, if it's a good meme, it comes up every now and then. Yeah. It had something to do with Phil Kessel, and they like replaced a bunch of things that he was, you know, the one where he's holding the puck and he's like all, you know, like giving that classic greasy Phil Kessel look. Well, they changed it so that the shirt that he was wearing says Harry Potter hates so high. Oh, I don't know. Like, I you know, I can't explain a meme because obviously it ruins it. But every time I see that T-shirt, I'm like, that's what I imagine that shirt. Like, whatever they're like, just something that's like, who the heck? Like, you know, it's like the Zach Galifianakis like 3 Wolf T-shirt. You know?
Yes. Yeah. Now I'm always going to be thinking of Marner wearing a Mickey Mouse T-shirt. It's just gonna be a thing now.
Yeah, and they're all gonna roast him for it for the rest of the year. It's like, especially Justin Bieber.
How many
will roast him
times
for it? It's like, dude, I almost got so many sponsorships with you guys, and you screwed it up.
He doesn't have to worry now because now he has Bieber balls with Tim Hortons. So, yeah, the new Timbit.
I got in trouble for saying that in elementary school. Okay.
Okay.
I had a family friend refer to them as beaver balls once, and I was like, that's kind of funny. And I repeated that, and they're like, here's the thing. I wasn't thinking something perverted in my head. I just thought, oh, beaver and balls. Not balls as in, you know, just because they're a ball. and then a teacher, I repeated that. A teacher is like, that's disgusting. Don't ever say it again. So, you know, these Bieber bits or Bieber balls or whatever, like, it's just all kinds of it's asking for trouble.
It is.
Tim Biebs, that's what it is. Tim. Even that sounds stupid though.
Tim Biebs. Why wouldn't he team up with Beaver Tails and do Bieber Tails?
That's a good idea.
Also asking for trouble with innuendos.
Yeah, the
why
Bieber
not?
balls sticks, so it's gonna be Bieber balls for me. I don't know. Not a fan, but
There's been some new flavors. Like, you know, I went to Timmy's today. I've been binging on Tim Hortons for over the past 2 weeks now, and every single time I get, you know, I ask for the Timbits, and I just throw them in. Whatever you got, just throw them in. And there's been some interesting flavors. Like, it's not just the usual, you know, old-fashioned plain bit, you know, chocolate glazed or chocolate whatever. They've got some cool ones in there now.
nice.
You getting the hockey cards from Tim?
I was gonna say, so I got a pack. I got a pack, and were we talking about Markstrom today?
Yeah.
Because look who I got.
Nice.
I got Markstrom. Very nice. So he's actually here. That's why he wasn't playing.
There you go. That makes sense.
Fair enough.
But
I got Vasilevsky on one of the. It's kind of like the canvas edition, so it's like all paper. It's kind of cool.
yes,
I got McKinnon.
Haven't pulled any
I got
Leafs yet.
McKinnon on the canvas. I don't know
Nice.
if that's any more valuable. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if the McDonald's and Tim's cards are even worth anything. But
yeah.
like, fuck it. I'm not buying hockey
Speaking of
cards anyway.
Tim's, I've also been splurging because I made my 7-day prediction on the NHL hockey challenge. So that was awesome. Getting my Savage of a extra large black coffee every day was nice. But yeah, it's been hard picking.
This is like the week of winning for you.
Winner's gonna win, you know, like just. But
You wanna announce what else?
Panelist on a roll.
oh yeah, my partner actually won Leafs tickets yesterday on Seat Chef. So whoop whoop. Pretty much, there's a Facebook group called Seat Chef, and there's 30 slots, and you buy a slot with the number, and it was like $12 a slot, and pretty much they draw the 10th number, which wins the Leafs tickets, and it's like bingo balls dropping. It's like a live event, and we spent, I don't know, money on 3 picks, so it cost us like less than $50 to get the Leafs tickets. It worked out perfectly, so highly recommend if you're in the GTA area. Check them out.
Cool. Love it. I, on the other hand, live in Ottawa, so when the Leafs come to town, it's just, all right, Leaf fans, everybody, grab your jerseys. Let's take over the Canadian Tire
$20.
Center. It's great.
How much are the tickets there?
Yeah.
How much is it like for a...
It's kind of weird because they have different sections in the top. Like there's the Coca-Cola fan section and like the McDonald's fan section, all that. You can get those ones for like, I think they're about $30. But I mean, if you want to get like decent ones, like I've spent, it was like 100 to be in the like 120s.
Oh my God.
So it's really not much compared to
Just this hearing 3 and a 0 and not 3-0-0.
Yeah.
Like I have to sell my kidney to get Leafs tickets,
Yeah.
right? Like so.
yeah. I have to sell my kidney to get to the Canadian Tire Center because it's like half an hour away from Ottawa. But
Yeah.
no, the tickets.
I'll be
are
spending
cheap.
more on beer than those tickets. Like 2 beers is going to cost me at least $40-$45. So, yeah.
Yeah, we just have really stupid, like, there's no parking. Well, there is parking, but you have to pay for it because it's only a parking lot. There's nothing else there. So, our stadium sucks. But the funny thing is I drive by it all the time for work, and over the years I've been in Ottawa, I've seen the outside of it change. And it's very reflective of the current state of the Sens because I remember they used to have like all these banners of like, you know, it was Matt Duchene and Eric Carlson and all these, and Zibanejad and all these guys. And then all, you know, the banners start changing out to, you know, now it's, who did they have? It was like Kyle Turris and a couple other guys. And now there's just no banners. They're like, fuck it. We got to wait a while until this team settles before we start putting banners up again. That was a bad idea.
Yeah.
All the guys that got caught in the Uber basically were all just bannered across the Canadian Tire Center for the highway to see.
Yes. Oh, the good old days. Wow.
That's like one of my favorite stories ever from the NHL, just comedically, is that a whole first line got caught in an Uber trashing the rest of the team.
Yeah.
Oh, the Senators, they're storied past, right? Like they're, you know, growing up, seeing them with, was it Heatley and Alfredson and, is it Spezza too?
Yeah.
Spezza.
Oh, it's so weird to say
And
that.
Chara.
How did they not win? Like, how did they just, like, those are names that, you know, they ring when you say them. You know?
Like the
Including
Leafs.
Spezza, who's still playing.
Well, they made it. Didn't they make it to the finals one year with that team? If I'm not mistaken. Like, I know that they beat the last time the Leafs made it to the second round of the playoffs. I think they lost to Ottawa in 2004.
Feels like when dinosaurs.
Jason
rode the
Spezza
earth.
was playing for Ottawa last time the Sens knocked the Leafs out of their last second round of playoffs. Like,
Wow.
that's insane.
Well, Leafs, it's the same thing. Like these big names ring when you say Tavares, Matthews, Marner, Riley, Nylander, and we don't want to be in that same scenario as the Sens who just couldn't pull it through. So hopefully they come together and click on all levels and we can get there.
Yeah, hopefully it's more like when I was growing up and seeing the LeCavalier, Richards, St. Louis, Tampa Bay Lightning, who were basically led by 3 people. And who do they have? Nikolai Habibulin was in net, and Pavel Kubina on defense. And those basically the same thing as like Campbell, Riley, and the top 4. Those guys just carried that team all the way to a cup. And that's what I'm hoping the Leafs can model themselves after, is that... I'm going to say 04, 05? No, that was the lockout. It was 03, 04.
I think it was 03, 04. Yeah.
Whenever Tampa
Yeah,
won
03,
it.
04.
Yeah. I have autographs from those 3 from that year.
That was a big year.
Little
I
humble brag.
see a guy at the gym wearing a Vincent LeCavalier like shirt that he got out of a what the heck now, cereal box. Like I don't think it was Fruit Loops. It was
those
one of
guys are
the Frosted
legends.
Flakes. You could see it had Vinny LeCavalier on the back, and then like on the shoulder it had like Frosted Flakes or something. I was like, how does that shirt still fit you?
Amazing. It's crazy. Like, we grew up seeing these trios of Canadian stars, but they were never on the Leafs. We had a Swede with USSR-born Kazakhstan and wherever Antropov, or I don't know. I think Antropov was from Kazakhstan and Ponikarovsky was from like Czech Republic or something.
Those are beauty names though. I just like those are names I just remember
Right?
like so strongly. Like you know what? If I was like in a daze and someone asked me who was on the Leafs, I would just say those names anyways, just because they sound like current Leafs. Oh, Ponikarovsky, say it right there, boom. Nick Antropov. Like just
Oh, yeah.
like, you know, if I was waking up out of a coma, I would just know those names. You know,
Yeah.
even like Sundin. There you go, right? Like they knew when
Ty Domi.
Oh, Ty Domi.
Well, yeah, and I guess my point is that it's nice to see that now they've got a lot of hometown guys. Not that it's like it really matters who plays for your team, but like, you know, seeing a Canadian lineup on the Leafs instead of, you know, something that's international is kind of cool for a change. Instead of seeing the Canadians win on other teams,
Oh, no, of course.
I should say.
Yeah.
Something worse than seeing a bunch of Canadians pass the cup around for, you know, Arizona or something.
It just hurts. It just hurts every time you that.
Yeah.
Having a parade on jet skis.
I actually saw, I don't know if you guys know the band Protest the Hero. I saw them here in Ottawa, and their singer went off on a huge rant just about Gary Bettman and how he's like, why are there so many desert hockey teams and there's only one up here in Toronto and one in Quebec? And why? I am not going to watch a bunch of Canadians in LA and in Anaheim and in San Jose and in Arizona pass the Stanley Cup around because they won't come and play up here because they don't want to be in the news. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's true. They like being low profile, but
We need those other teams in the States so we can go to the States and actually afford tickets.
Yeah, I was reading something about
Fair.
Panthers tickets, like, you know, again, like only like $20 or something, and you're gonna have a good time, like a really good time. Not that you want to see the Panthers, but,
Hey.
well, now you would actually. Okay, so talk to me maybe 5 years ago, and you'd be like, oh, Panthers, but now it's like they're on a roll, right? They're doing
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, well, I mean, I went to a Panthers Leafs game. It was 4 years ago, the Panthers were shit, and there was all Leaf fans there. It was great. It was $20. Awesome. Happened to
Four-course
be in
meal.
Florida.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're going a bit over, but instead of doing like a full prediction of the rest of the league, let's just look at the Atlantic Division because, I mean, it's a Leafs podcast. How much of this do we think of the Atlantic Division standings is actually going to hold? Because, I mean, we've got Panthers are in first with, where's the points here? 23, Leafs are 2 points behind them, then the Red Wings and Lightning. Those are your playoff four. With the Sens, Montreal, Buffalo, and Boston in the bottom four. How likely do we, like, are the Red Wings going to keep this up? Or, like what's going to change here?
I'm not surprised about Detroit. I know it seems surprising, but if you look at their off-season pickups, like you have Ned in goal, you have Lucas Raymond playing on the top line with Bertuzzi and Larkin. He already has 15 points on the season, 4 power play points. Like, they are on fire. So I think it continues, honestly, for the Detroit Red Wings.
They have a -4 differential, though. Like, they're the only ones besides the Canadians and Sens in that whole division that have a negative goals for, goals against. Like, that says something. I mean, granted, one of their players doesn't get to score in any games in Canada, so that kind of affects their goal differential a bit. But, I mean, I think if any of the four of them, between the Panthers, Leafs, and Lightning, it's going to be the Red Wings that don't maintain this top four. Like, the Bruins have to be fighting for something here, right?
Yeah.
Like, as old as those guys are getting, it's not the end of the line for Marchand and Bergeron and Pasternak.
Yeah, and I think it also says something, though, about Detroit. They beat Edmonton on the 9th, so just 5 days ago, 4-2. Like, no one saw that coming. Boston started real slow. Like, if anyone knows me on a personal level, they know that I'm not a Boston fan, and for some reason this year, I know it's a given, right? But no way.
You're a Boston fan? Can we just get that out of the room that nobody in this is?
No one is a
likes
Boston fan. But going to my point, in my fantasy draft, I somehow...
It's like just checking to make sure I didn't have any Boston stuff behind me I forgot about. But nope, don't,
So
actually.
with that being said, somehow I drafted David Pasternak first overall with my 9th. I would think I was 9th this year, and I was... Oh, it hurt so bad to take him. And then I happened to get the Bergeron stack going. So I was like, okay. But people in fantasy, they were going nuts about him because he wasn't scoring. The first 6 or 8 games, they were completely cold. They literally switched the perfection line, put Pasta on the second line, left Marchand and Bergeron on the first line, and all of a sudden Bergeron scores 4 goals one night, and now they're absolutely on fire. So I don't know, the league's been really weird to start the season, to say the least anyways. And yeah, I don't know. I think Boston will be going up though, and maybe taking Detroit's spot, but time will tell. Allmark's been pulling through for them, though.
Well, they're still 3 or 4 games behind the Leafs, too, right? So they gotta...
They are, yeah. The Lightning are, too. The Leafs are ahead of everybody, because for some reason scheduling always makes the Leafs play ahead of everyone. I feel like we always have more games. The Sens and Canadians aren't coming back from this.
They will never financially recover from this. Just to bring, because that was a really sick costume.
Thank you.
Had, okay?
Thank you. Damn, Carol Baskin. I think she just got to them all. And yeah, I don't know. Montreal is just going downhill. Like, good on Price for releasing that statement, and so much respect for the guy. But I don't know what's going on with the Montreal Canadiens. And Ottawa is kind of, it was expected, especially since they had 9 players in COVID protocol last week. So they canceled.
Drake Batherson just put back on COVID
and they canceled
protocol
3 practices. Like, it's kind of like the Vancouver Canucks situation last year where they got screwed with COVID. But I think they rebound in comparison to Montreal.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Price can score goals, and that's been Montreal's problem more than it's been stopping them. Like Jake Allen, they still have a goalie. It's not like they've been playing their 4th string guy. So I don't know what Montreal's going to do, because, man, Dvorak is not going to score for everybody, and I don't think that was the expectation.
Did somebody mention the Canucks, by the way? Because they're also, I know we're talking about Atlantic, but let's move Pacific for a second, and let's talk about how crap they're doing as well.
No kidding. What the hell? Like, I was actually thinking about this before the show. I wanted to talk about, like, Pettersson and Hughes signed these huge deals, and everyone's like, all right. I drafted Pettersson with my first pick last year. I had an 11th pick, and I think he played 10 games last year and didn't score. What the hell did they do?
Yeah. Even last night, they were up 2-0 against the Vegas Golden Knights, and then I checked the score again, and it was like 7-5 or whatever it was. And then person in our fantasy team today messaged the group and was like, hey guys, I'm looking to trade Demko, so if any offers out there.
So are the fucking Vancouver Canucks.
Hey, he's been the best player for them.
Oh man,
you gotta admit, like, Demko's been standing on his head for this team.
You can only ask a goaltender so much, right? Like,
yeah.
That's fair, but, like, that's what you've got Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Quinn Hughes for. Like, come on. Like, what is this team gonna do? And it's not like I mean, the Jets are doing well, but, like, Calgary's not doing much better than the Canucks are. I mean, like, they're on a 3-game losing streak right now. They were starting the season well, but it's coming crashing down quick.
At least they don't have to worry about the Kraken coming up and nipping at their heels.
Yeah. Poor guys.
Anybody else surprised by the Kraken standings right now, given their draft picks?
I know.
I mean, like, the whole expansion thing is set up in a way that they want them to do well, because historically expansion teams have been like 1-13, like the Arizona Coyotes are right now.
But they can't all end up like Vegas Golden Knights and just go on a heater and go to the Stanley Cup in their first year. Like,
obviously that's a fluke, but at the same time, they do want them to be somewhat successful. Like, they got to fill the seats. Not that Seattle's having a problem. Their fans seem awesome. Like, the games that I've seen in that stadium, they look fired up, even though they've lost 10 games already. But
yeah, and their leading supposedly goal scorer, Jordan Eberle, started the season horribly, and now he's finally on a scoring streak. But, they filled the holes in the goaltender situation, the defender situation, but it's just, I don't know, this is a type of team where everyone has to work together because they're obviously not top heavy. The fourth line has to come through as much as the second and the third. So yeah, we'll see where they go.
Yep, and I think Edmonton and Anaheim are just going to continue to beat up on the rest of that division all year. Like, it's going to be rough. Golden Knights and Flames will hopefully hold their own, but man, that's just a rough division. Like, San Jose, I'm surprised they're doing as well as they are, but oof.
Yeah, they should be embarrassed. The Canucks should be embarrassed that they are doing worse than the Sharks, considering all the bad just media, and, you know, they said how that locker room was just toxic because of Vander Kane, and yet they still got, you know, what is it? The Sharks are only like one game less than the Canucks, and they're at 7 wins. So obviously,
they're on Kraken 4-game losing streak, Canucks 3-game losing streak, Sharks 2-game losing streak, Flames 3-game losing streak. This division sucks.
And to be fair, San Jose was one of those teams were affected by COVID-19. They had to call 7 players up from the San Jose Barracuda from the AHL, and they were placed on October 30th. They literally just got released off IR a couple days ago, and it was literally the top 2 lines. So, yeah, we'll see a big bounce back from them, I assume, but I don't know. We talked so highly of them when they faced Toronto, right? And Erik Karlsson looking like he was back in his prime, and it was looking so good for them.
Leafs were garbage.
Okay, they were.
That was like the Leafs' worst showing of the season, even worse than the Pittsburgh game. They're so bad.
But you know what? It's Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl's world, and they're just living in it, right? So
yeah.
Leon's got 28 points, 14 goals, 14 assists. Are you kidding me?
Do you think they'll be moved from that top spot by the Ducks? Or is this just, as I said, is this just their world, you know, McDavid and Draisaitl's world, and the rest of the Pacific Division is just living in it?
Yeah, Troy Terry just takes over with Ryan Getzlaf, finally becomes fantasy valuable again after so many years. So
okay, but like, if you're picking Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid, or Troy Terry and
I know,
Ryan
there's
Getzlaf
no comparison
to top this division off, who's it going to be?
Definitely, but Troy Terry, like, no one saw him coming, and now he's shooting at a 33.3% shooting average. Like, it's insanely high. It's obviously not going to stay, but yeah, one of those waiver wire picks that you would never think would pan out for the long run.
Okay, we got a bit of time left. Central Division. Coyotes suck, not even worth talking about. 1-13. We did a whole segment on them last episode. They're awful.
Oh yeah, Matthews would love to move to that team, right? Like, when that contract's up,
this is what I keep saying.
Just love to be there.
Yeah, of course we're gonna lose them.
If it still exists in that desert, if it doesn't get swallowed up by the sand, you know.
If they have an arena to play in by the time his contract's up. Blackhawks fired their coach again. They're still, they're not going to be fighting back much this year. 3-game winning streak, though, not bad. The Stars, though, are the ones I want to talk about. What the hell? Stars and Avalanche are underperforming. Doesn't even begin to describe what's going on with them. Pavelski has not scored, like, at all. Roope Hintz has barely scored at all. Their goaltending has been atrocious. McKinnon isn't scoring. Like, what's going on with these guys? The Wild and Jets and Predators and Blues should not be the top of the Central Division in any world. No one's picks were those 4 teams.
Look, I have no sympathy for the Dallas Stars because 2 years ago, Miro Heiskanen and Joe Pavelski royally screwed me over in my fantasy. Actually, probably not Heiskanen, but I never got enough for him. I tried putting him in so many trades to get someone to fix my deficit because of how poorly Pavelski played. So I was at a
I've got him this year.
Point in fantasy hockey does things to you, right? You start to know the players a lot better than it's just a casual fan watching. Yeah. And you get to a point where you're like, I'm going to go on this guy's Instagram and message him and be like, hey, figure it out.
What are you doing, bud?
What are you doing, bud?
Have you guys seen the show The League? But the fantasy football.
I've not seen that. No.
Oh, highly recommend it. It was on a couple of years ago on FX. There's 7 seasons of it. It's starring Nick Kroll from The Kroll Show and Big Mouth and all that. He's hilarious. And it's about these people that are all fantasy football friends. This is the only reason that they're still friends. They grew up together, whatever. This is actually how I got into fantasy hockey. But this is like a recurring thing. As the show got more popular, they were able to get players to cameo in episodes. So like one of them goes into a bathroom at a bar, and then one of the players is at the urinal, and he's like, "Hey, you screwed me this week." It's like, "Hey, I didn't screw you, man. I'm just playing." He's like, No, you cost me this week." He's like, "Man, you better step off." So like they get beat up by players in bathrooms and in spas and things, and it's pretty
Nice.
funny.
I think I remember someone. I think it must have been a Missing Curfew where there's a story of. I think it was Kevin Shattenkirk, like a fan, or someone who just casually bets on hockey, lost like their life savings of $50 or something, and they like Venmo'd $50 to Kevin Shattenkirk. They're like, "Yo, like, can you pay me my $50 back because you just..." And he did. I wish I knew what the episode it was, but it's like, it's the funniest story. It's like, as soon as I heard that, I was like, someone like found like Shattenkirk was like, "Hey, like, I'm requesting like, $50 from you because you screwed me over last night."
Oh, what a guy.
This had to be when Shattenkirk was on
again, though,
Lightning,
like, it's... Oh,
Remember those days?
Forgot about those days. Is McKinnon gonna turn this around? Because I mean, everybody's pick for the Stanley Cup this year is the Colorado Avalanche, who are 6-5-1.
Well, he's out for 3 weeks with lower body injury, so...
Oh, lovely. This is what happens when I'm working. I don't get these updates.
Yeah, and Makar was out up until earlier this week, so I think things turn around.
And Byram was out. I just picked
Devin
him up again.
Taves was out, and I think he just played his
right.
first or second game this week, so the lineup's been spotty.
Yeah, and just to close it off quick, the Metro Division, Islanders got to pull themselves out of the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Like, come on. It's the Islanders.
It's got to happen. And, all bets are on the Islanders. People were pulling for them the last couple of years. They just need to pull that defensive mindset forward and get some offense going. I know Anders Lee, Johnny, you dropped him maybe a week or two ago, you said? And he was supposed to have a bounce back season, and what happened? I don't know. Like, this guy is not performing.
That team sucks. Goals for 27. Are you kidding me? How? How is that even possible? Only the Coyotes have less goals for than the Islanders do.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Can we just say that the Hurricanes won that trade with the Devils because they are on the top right now, and I would not expect that given that I just, I fanboy over Dougie Hamilton. I would just assume that wherever Dougie Hamilton goes, he'd be successful.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't think anyone expected that trade to go that way, but hey, fuck it. Working out. So with that, we should wrap it up. Darty, where can they find you? Where can the people get you?
Oh, they can find me very simply at DartyBrodeur. Right? If you can't spell it, it's Darty. So Dart with a Y, and Brodeur. If you don't know who Brodeur is, then I'm sorry. I don't know why you're listening to this. So.
Then you shouldn't follow.
Once again, we are Leafs Late Night. You can catch us everywhere that you always do. We'll try to be a little more up to date with the next games, but we're working, so tune in next time. Thanks again, Darty.
Follow us on
No
Twitter
problem.
and Instagram at Leafs Late Night, your night of post-game podcast. Available after every game on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, and more.
Coffee.
So worth that $5.
Right.